For someone who doesn't speak pain, you sound very fluent.
You are listening to Random Gameplay Pimpin.
What is going down? This is your boy Studio MacGyver, and you are listening to Random Gameplay Pimpin'. Welcome to the show, guys. If you're new to the podcast, welcome to the show. If you're into anime, nerd culture, and most importantly, video games, guess what? You come to the right place because we talk about all of that shit here. This is podcast episode number 368, and I have a doozy if you are a Dragon Ball fan for this episode. I'm going to talk about my anime watch list. I'm going to talk a little bit about a game that I am so happy that is in existence. I'm also going to talk about some Dragon Age. I'm going to also talk about Visions of Mana, have some news there, and some BLUMHOUSE information that may definitely pique your interest if you're into the horror genre. And then last but not least, I'm going to talk about and nerd out on the new information that just came in about Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. Oh my God, I can't wait. I'm gushing already, but it's going down. So let's get into it without further ado. I'm going to start with my anime watch list, guys. And it's pretty boring this week, believe it or not. It's been the same anime for the most part. I still have not seen, Baki versus Kengan Ashura, or Kengan Ashura versus Baki, however it was pronounced. But it's an hour long kind of movie special. And I heard mixed things about it, okay? I didn't hear great things. I just heard mediocre things. I heard it was mediocre by some, and some I heard it was kind of garbage, but I'm not going to get into all that. I haven't seen it yet. So until I do with my own eyes, I'm going to reserve those comments, okay? But I have been watching Kaiju number 8. I was 2 episodes behind as of last week during the show. So I got to watch 2 amazing episodes, and now the shit is kicked in full gear. It is definitely going down. Butter is definitely out there on the battlefield, and people are using it. And I'm loving every second of Kaiju number 8 right now. So I am really anticipating the next episode. I did not get to watch the most recent episode of Demon Slayer, aka Kimetsu no Yaiba, because my day has been just ridiculous. Okay. I tried to get it done before this podcast, but right now it's about 2:00 in the morning and I am now just recording this. Okay. Tomorrow is my Friday. So, I'll have the next few days off. And I also feel like I'm coming down with some sort of cold, flu, whatever you want to call it. You know, you kind of got that early, detection. You kind of know when something's coming. So I'm trying to do everything in my power to slow it down so it doesn't come at full throttle, and, you know, taking vitamin C and stuff like that. So tomorrow I'll be trying to drink tea and everything else under the sun. So pray for me, guys. I hope I'm not under the weather on my days off. If I am, hey, fuck it. I'll lay up and watch some anime, but it's all good. But yeah, anyway, that is on my anime watch list. Kaiju number 8, Demon Slayer, I will watch probably tomorrow. and probably a lot of anime in my next few days because, like I said, I'll have some free time. As far as anime is concerned, I've pretty much been all over the place. I still have not finished Shangri-La Frontier. I still have a few episodes of that left. What else did I watch? What did I watch? What else have I been watching? I think right now, for the time being, that is it. I can't think of anything else right now that I have been watching recently. Haven't had a lot of time, like I said before, guys. So that's just that. But that's my anime watch list. It's really boring this week, guys. Not too much to talk about. But next week I will have some stuff to talk about. There's a couple that I want to try out. I definitely want to try out the soccer one. There's a soccer one. I think it's called Blue Lock. And then there's some other ones, a couple movies out now, sports anime movies. I can't think of them at the top of my head, but it's a lot of stuff going on in the sports genre as far as anime is concerned. So yeah, definitely looking forward to that. Also, Blue Exorcist is another one I've been watching. Definitely enjoying that one. I've only had a chance to watch a few more episodes since the last week I spoke with you guys, but I am enjoying it thoroughly, and I will definitely keep you posted when I finish that one as well. So yeah, I think that's it right now. There's also Yu Yu Hakusho. I was doing a rewatch. I'm on season 3 now with that. So yeah, there's a lot of them on my plate. There's a lot of them in the air, and I'm going to try to get through most of them the next few days. But anyway, next I'm going to talk a little about a game, a fighting game. You guys know, well, all the OG listeners know I love my fighting games. But before I jump in there, I definitely want to say I am looking forward to the DLC from Elden Ring. I had a chance to play a little bit with a friend tonight. That's probably why my time is kind of short, because I came home and then I made dinner. And after that, I jumped on with him, and I didn't have one of the bosses that you needed beat to continue the DLC once the DLC comes out, and it was Moog. And I finally got a chance to beat him. So we struggled a little bit, but then we figured it out, changed up some stuff, changed some weapons and everything. And plus I was so rusty, and still I'm shaking the rust off of Elden Ring right now. But I have got my sea legs back, and I'm feeling a lot better, way better than I did when I first, hit that start button a few days ago. So yeah, get my sea legs back. My friend has started a new character because he went too far with the first character he had, and now it'll be New Game Plus. So now he has to start from scratch. And I helped him with a couple bosses after that. We beat Moog. He helped me with that, and then I helped him with his brand new character, his starter character. He had some weapons and some items and armor and stuff that he had from the other character, and he basically, we did a swap is what we call it, where you have a lot of items, and he would drop it to me, and then he would switch characters, and then I would go in his world, and then I would drop those items he gave me back to him. So his new character can at least have some decent gear and some decent augments and stuff like that to make his transition a little bit easier when the DLC comes, and also when we face these bosses. So that's what we were doing tonight for a few hours. Me and my son, he wants to get these hands. He wants this work in Demon Slayer, and he also wants it in My Hero Academia. But I told him we can definitely get that. He can get that work these next few days. And then we're also going to go, I guess, poster hunting. We're going to go to Movie Trading Company and maybe a few other places and try to spruce up his room a little bit as well. And, he's had a lot of fun helping me with the man cave here. And it's still a lot of stuff going on here. I'll give you guys an update. There should be an update on my Instagram if you go check me out at Studio MacGyver, a small one there. And then I'm going to be trying to update some more. So there should be another update video in the next few days, because I have some free time and I'll be able to do a few more things. And I'll keep you guys posted. I'll just keep adding and adding and adding. And yeah, man, I'm just so happy. I'm proud of my little setup right now. I have bought this little stand, and it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 layers to it. I'm going to go find some lights in the next few weeks for it. But I have 10. I have a whole shelf dedicated to him. I have a whole shelf dedicated to Frieza, and I have one dedicated to Vegeta. So those are my top 3 in Dragon Ball and all of Dragon Ball. And then there's some close ones behind that. But yeah, I also have a Naruto section over there, and I have one that's blank. And I don't know what I want to do with that yet. I have a whole bunch of stuff that's still in boxes that I got from Big Bad Toy Store and the places where I shop, Amazon, where I get a lot of my statues and stuff from. I got just stuff coming in. I got this Master Roshi. My girl got me Master Roshi statue for Father's Day for me. So it should be here in the next couple of days. Funny story behind that. She actually had gotten me another character from Jujutsu Kaisen, one of my favorite characters there, which happens to be my boy Kento. If you guys know who that is. But yeah, and for some reason they made a boo-boo. They had some kind of mistake, and they had refunded us the money. So she said, "Oh, do you want me to reorder that?" And I was like, you know what? On second thought, I can get him later, because my Jujutsu Kaisen area that I want to start they're all still in boxes and stuff. And I'm kind of feeling, I'm feeling Dragon Ball right now. I'm feeling the Dragon Ball vibe right now. And so I said, you know what? I don't think I have a Master Roshi. I don't in my collection. So I said, you know what? I, did a little light search, found a dope one of him with the Kamehameha, with him throwing the Kamehameha, the scene where he throws it over I think it's ocean or the sea or whatever like that. And he splits the sea. Yeah, that one. Dope pose for Master Roshi, the OG. So yeah, had her get me that, and that'll be here in a few days. So that's that. Just a little adventure of your boy, Studio MacGyver. It's never a dull moment over here in this household, guys. But yeah, that's what I've been doing. Now, let's move on and let's get started, and let's talk a little bit about these games, okay? Some of my OG listeners may remember this, but one of my favorite all-time fighting games ever is an SNK game that goes by the name of Goro Mark of the Wolves. All right. It's one of the most beautifully animated 2D sprite-based fighting games. It's got an awesome system to it, and it's got a couple of my favorite characters of all time fighting-wise in there as well. So they are doing another game, okay, and it's called Fatal Fury City of the Wolves. This is, I guess this is a sequel to, Mark of the Wolves. I'm going to dig a little deeper as time progresses, and I'll, let you guys know more information. But yeah, man, one of my favorite characters, my favorite character in that game went by the name of Marco Rodriguez, okay, aka Butts in Japan. But yeah, he's in the game, and I was wondering if they were ever going to put him in another game. I was looking for him in all the other, Fatal Fury games, some of the SNK fighting games like King of Fighters. I was just wondering, are they going to add him here? And it never happened. But now they finally have, and I cannot wait. This game comes out early 2025. I'll definitely be getting this one for sure. I love collecting fighting games. I love SNK games, and, Street Fighter's there too. I love fighting games in general, but SNK has a special place in my heart as well. There's so many dope characters. There's so many. Yuri is another one of my favorite characters from SNK. Love her to fucking death. Yeah, I love them. That game is coming out. I saw the trailer. There's some gameplay of it. It looks awesome. And I just wanted to share that with you guys. Okay. Now, here's one that I didn't get a chance to really talk about last week. I did mention it, but this is the Dragon Age game. It's Dragon Age VEILGUARD. That is the name of it. Okay. Now, this game is different than your typical Dragon Age game. You still have a team, you have a squad and all of that, but this is more action oriented. This has got that kind of action type of feel. Now, some people, and I'd say maybe 20 to 30% of people are saying that, they're not necessarily that hyped for the style of the game. Okay. In other words, the game has a lighter tone, if you will. It's more colorful. It's got a lot of, vibrant colors. It's not as dark and dreary as, the last Dragon Age game or other Dragon Age games in general. And that, some people have something to say about that. Now, me personally, just from a gameplay standpoint, the shit looks awesome. The shit looks fluid. It looks a lot better than I thought it was going to be. And you actually create your own character, and you put them out there in these video game streets, and then you go ape shit crazy. Gameplay looks pretty good, man. Really excited about this one. I am definitely going to be playing this one. And that's all the information I have on it right now. As far as the release is concerned, I want to say that's coming out this year. I think it's coming out 2024. I'm going to reassess the situation, and I'll look at it, and I'll come back to it and give you guys an update. But that's the information on that. I did watch some gameplay, an extensive amount of it, and I was definitely impressed by what I saw. I wasn't turned off by the tone being slightly lighter than, previous titles. It's cool for me. I don't have anything bad to say about that. My thing is it going to be fun to play? Does it look fun? Does it look like something I could sink some hours into? And the answer right now for me is yes. So I'm going to take that and run with it. Once again, it's called Dragon Age: The VEILGUARD. And once I know more about the story and we get a little bit more information, I'll definitely keep you guys posted on that. But yeah, definitely looks good. And I will keep you posted. All right, moving on. Visions of Mana. I was wondering about this game, guys. All of my OG listeners, or if you listened to the podcast a few weeks prior, you heard me talking about this game and you heard me say that I didn't know when the release date was. All we heard, was summer of 2024. And I don't even know if you can call it summer because we got the release date and the release date now is August 29th, 2024. So you might as well just say September. Okay. Fuck the summer. And I knew something was up because they told us summer and that was it. And then as we got closer, we actually got to summer. We still didn't have a release date. So I was like, ooh, I don't know if this is going to be summer. So technically August can be considered summer and they wait to the last fucking day. So technically they can say, oh yeah, we've kind of stayed true to our word. It was in the summer, but now I'm not going to be able to buy it day one because there's another game on the horizon that comes out in August and I'm not going to be able to do it. Wukong is coming out in August, at the end of August. So I have to make a decision. And if I had to pick one of those games, it's probably going to be Wukong. Probably going to be Wukong first. Now I could change my mind, could get a little closer. We could see some more extensive gameplay. Things might happen. And then I could say, okay, well, I switch it up. But right now, as today stands, I am not going to be, playing that. I'm not going to be buying that day one. Will I play it? Oh yeah, I will. I will eventually play this, but day one, it will not be. Okay. But that's it for Visions of Mana. I'll keep you guys posted if anything else comes up. I'll recommend a trailer or something like that if it happens to fall in my lap. Next on the list, BLUMHOUSE. Okay, BLUMHOUSE is a production company who are synonymous for horror films. Okay, they do horror films. They do a lot of dope shit. I can't think of any movies now, but I've seen a lot of shit where that BLUMHOUSE was behind. Okay, and you probably have too. Anyway, this is something of a shocker to me. But they are in business now as a video game company. They are going to be doing horror video games. All right. They're going to be a indie company. Of course, they're going to have an indie budget. I think their budget, they said something about it won't surpass 10 mil. And that's okay. I mean, some of these budgets are multi-million dollar budgets. I mean, 30, 40, 50 $million, and even more than that sometimes. But 10 million and below is what they're going to be working with for their titles. And that's fine with me. I mean, they seem passionate about this. And I look forward to seeing what they bring to the table in the future, like what kind of games and stuff like that. So it'd be cool. I've always wanted to see, a good slasher game. You know what I mean? Like a good slasher game where you're actually the slasher and you're running around and you have to take people out, or just a new concept, just something that, a lot of us haven't thought about in recent years. And, I want to be surprised. I want to be amazed, blown away by some of these developers, and hopefully they can come up with something, man. I mean, you would think that BLUMHOUSE, who, they're synonymous with these horror films and all that, you got that point of view, that director's kind of point of view. You can probably come up with something pretty interesting, I'm guessing, for future titles. So look forward to it. Great to hear. They seem passionate. Why else would they start a video game company? They're probably a lot of gamers over there at BLUMHOUSE. And I look forward to seeing what they bring. Okay, now, all right, I really want to start in nerding out with you guys because I am so excited now. I'm Now, I was always excited about Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, okay? If you're new to the podcast, I am a huge Dragon Ball fan, okay? Dragon Ball is the anime that introduced me to anime, okay? It's the one that popped my anime cherry, so to speak. It's the reason why I love anime so much. If it wasn't for Dragon Ball, I would not have fallen down that rabbit hole. I would not have, I don't think, discovered how awesome anime was, at least early. okay, as I did. Okay, I started watching Dragon Ball, random episodes on Sundays, at random times in the morning, back in like 97. You know what I mean? 1997 or some shit like that, way back in the fucking day. Okay, before there was any structure to TV, and there was no way you could watch every Dragon Ball episode right after the other. They didn't even play them in order. Okay, they just played them randomly, and you just saw it. And it was one Sunday morning. I woke up early. You know, I guess you could call it early. It was like 9, 10 o'clock in the morning for me. Usually I sleep till noon on those days, and I saw this episode, man, and it was the one where Tenshin Han, Krillin, Yamcha, I think Chaozu was there as well. They all went and they were trying to train for the Saiyans. Okay, the Saiyans were on their way; they were coming, and they were trying to train and prepare for that. I just remember how awesome that shit looked. I was so amazed. I wanted to know what it was. I was like, "Who is this character with 3 eyes, man? Who is this dude? You know, who is this guy, Yamcha, who looks cool with the scars and doing this shit? Is crazy." And ever since then, I was trying to find my way back to it. And I would order books, and at the back of these books, there would be numbers and where you could order, you know, stuff. You would send money in, and you could order like, you know, stuff from Japan. And I had ordered Dragon Ball Legends. I remember that game. And to play that, you had to have this converter. It was like this cartridge, and I didn't know what the fuck I was playing. It was all in Japanese, but I just played it through, figured it out. I was obsessed with it. Okay, I was walking around high school with Dragon Ball book covers, and people were looking at me like, what the fuck is that? It looks cool, but I don't know. Like, it's strange. I've never seen it before. We were so used to the American cartoons, you know, and I didn't understand that in Japan, they had sagas. Okay, like they would literally continue these stories. They would progress further and further as you watched them. It wasn't like, per se, like a Ninja Turtle episode where, okay, these guys are robbing the bank, let's stop these guys. And then after that, the episode was over. And then the next episode, it was a whole nother different scenario. So they ended up getting these scenarios and solving them in one episode. Sometimes it'd be a to be continued every blue moon, but basically no more than 2 episodes and the issue was solved. The problem was over. Okay. It wasn't like in anime where there's characters could die. You get to see characters grow up and progress and all these things. And Dragon Ball was that first thing that, you know, I realized, yo, what is this? This is amazing. And I just fell in love from there, and I was just obsessed with it. And it will always be my favorite anime because of that. I mean, I literally have 3 tattoos, characters. I have Tien, I have Vegeta, and I have Frieza tattooed on my fucking body. Okay. That should tell you something, if nothing at all. I was driving and somebody actually saw my Tenshin Han tattoo, and they said, yo, is that Tien? I was like, yeah. He was like, yo, dude, I fucking love that shit. I love it. I love whenever Tien gets props. I fucking love it. Okay. Because he is so underrated in my opinion, guys. You're always going to hear me say that. Everybody's going to ask me, when you ask people, hey, what are your favorite Dragon Ball characters? Tien is not one of those characters you're going to expect to hear from most people's mouths. You're just not going to. And I love that also that he's a niche character and that he has his fan base, but we're a small fan base. Okay. And I love that. I love that not everybody has jumped on that train. And that's one character that I know, because Vegeta is my number 1 character. And, you know, of course, I just knew that guy looked so cool. Somebody, you know, I'm not going to be the only person, but I had that same feeling about Tien. And I think also because Tien was the first character that I saw on the first episode that I ever saw, my first anime pretty much ever watching. And I think that has a lot to do with it. And I just like I like his style. And this was Dragon Ball Z. So this was before Dragon Ball. And then I ended up watching Dragon Ball after watching Dragon Ball Z. And I had a weird way of how I watched it all, consumed it, because I didn't even watch all of Dragon Ball Z to completion. I watched all the way, I think, up to the Cell saga. No, the Frieza saga. And some of the Android saga, I think. And then I found my way to the Dragon Ball episodes. And then I watched those and I was like, yo, it's okay. This is where it started. So this is Goku's adventures as a kid. And he ends up growing up. I said, oh shit, this shit is crazy. I've never known anything like that before. So I was just so amazed by it. And I remember the tournament, 22nd martial arts tournament came around, and when I first saw Tien, he had this hat on with the fucking little ball on the top of it. He was an assassin. He was being trained as an assassin. And Tao Pai Pai, aka Mercenary Tao, like it was the shit. I loved it. And he was the badass in Dragon Ball. Like he had his own arc. It was called the Ten Shinhan arc. Okay. Like the Frieza arc, the Frieza saga, the Cell saga. Like he had his own arc in Dragon Ball, and he actually won that tournament. And I got to see him do all these moves, like the Four Witch technique, and being one of the first characters to ever fly, and then being able to copy techniques that he saw with his third eye, which was crazy. The Kamehameha, learning it after only watching it one time. And I think, to be honest with you, I think Tien was broken. He was really broken in Dragon Ball. And Toriyama was like, yo, I think I went too far with this guy. With that technique and shit. And I need to nerf this guy. Okay. And so after the 22nd martial arts tournament, he began to become nerfed, cause he beat Roshi. He beat like, he fucking, fucked up Yamcha real bad. Like, and it was awesome. Okay. Just the history of it, and I will always love Dragon Ball for that too. And then I got back to Dragon Ball Z, and then I started figuring out how it worked, and started to figure it out, a process of being able to watch it and then finish it. So now I own every episode of Dragon Ball Z, and Dragon Ball Kai, Dragon Ball Z Kai. I really like Kai as well. I didn't think I was going to like it at first. Mostly because Frieza's voice actor in the old tapings that I watched was a female by the name of Linda Young. And I forgot the guys who replaced her. I still to this day don't know why she was replaced. I really don't. She also does, I think, Genkai from Yu Yu Hakusho. Like, once you watch enough anime, you start to see some of these actors. You kind of say, yo, that sounds familiar. But anyway, I don't know why she stopped doing the voice. I don't know what happened. Nobody knows it. I dug for that. Maybe I just didn't dig deep enough, but that was my favorite voice. She's one of my favorite voice actors as far as Frieza is concerned. Like, I don't think anybody could do it, because the whole time I remember watching it, and when I first saw the Frieza arc, I was like, yo, I couldn't tell if Frieza was a male or female. Like, and that was a good thing, because Frieza was an alien. You know what I mean? It's like, you can't tell, you don't know what this is. And Frieza's my, second favorite character all time. And I just thought he was just so cruel, just so cold blooded, man. I mean, the shit that he did, and me watching that for the first time, watching him kill kids, like kill Namek kids and shit like that. And he was just a savage, still is a savage. And he's synonymous for like making Goku go Super Saiyan. I think that's one of the most iconic, scenes in anime, like still to this day. And I've seen a lot of dope anime. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that Dragon Ball is the greatest written thing, because it's not. There's a lot of anime that's written a lot better than that. Naruto comes to mind, for instance, and I found that out later in life, in my anime life. But there's certain things that Dragon Ball has that just make it amazing still, and I will always love it for that. The power levels, the powers, the Zenkai boosts, all of these things, man. I mean, just goes into that, and I was obsessed with it. Still am. I mean, I'm an adult now. And I still love it, and I won't stop. But I'm saying all this to say that Dragon Ball is a big part of my life. Okay. It is a big part of my life. If you look at the man cave, like, just look around, you'll see it. You can't miss it. But this game, when this game was announced, my favorite game all time, Dragon Ball game of all time, was Budokai Tenkaichi 3. Okay. A lot of you guys know about this game. You've heard of this game. You've seen it. Some of you guys may be too young to understand how significant this game was and how much fan service we got with this game. I mean, this is the game that they said, you know what? We're going to go all out and give all the Dragon Ball fans exactly what they want. We're going to give them every single character in the whole Dragon Ball, from Dragon Ball all the way up to, I think, GT. Okay, we're going to give you guys all these characters. I think it was 161 characters. And then on top of that, the presentation was fucking second to none. Okay, you had Goku, who narrated the game. And then as you progress through the game, you can unlock other characters that would also narrate the game. You could swap out narrators. I mean, just the shit was it was so beautiful. And on top of that, the costumes. I mean, they had pretty much every costume the characters had in the fucking series that you saw. Now, there are exceptions, okay, if you look at the manga and stuff like that. But as far as like Tien, for instance, he was one of my favorite characters. He still is. But he had like a bunch of different drip. Like his drip was ridiculous, okay? He had the fucking, your typical, the monk, gi with the missing shoulder on one side. Then he had the shirtless, where he's exposing the scar that he got from Mercenary Tao. Then you had fucking tank tops. He had a white tank top, and then sometimes he'd wear a yellow tank top. And then he had the fucking t-shirt, just a white t-shirt tucked in. I love that. I don't know why. It's just a simple ass outfit, man. Just a white t-shirt tucked in. I don't know why I like it so much, but in the Cell Saga, he had that. And then in the Buu Saga, he had the best drip I think he's ever had, besides the Dragon Ball Super drip that he has now. But that drip with the cape and like, that is crazy. Okay. They had all those outfits there. Okay. So just take that and then apply it to another character, and it was there, and they just gave us everything, all this fan service. And so now, this is the sequel, okay? And some new gameplay has been coming out. All these YouTubers got a hold of it. They got 30 minutes to play it, and they could capture 30 minutes of gameplay. So I've been watching nonstop for the last 4 days. Nothing but Dragon Ball in my spare time. Dragon Ball clips, Dragon Ball videos about Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, okay? And I cannot wait for this game. I cannot wait. The shit looks beautiful. They took so much attention to detail. Everything is in here, guys. And the reason why I'm really so hyped for this game now is because the new information that came out is that they have a mode on here that is called custom battle mode. All right. Now, what's so important about this is the fact that you can now literally make your own Dragon Ball stories. Okay. And what I mean by that is when you're playing this game, there's cut scenes and there's going to be the story mode, but they also added like a kind of what if scenario mode in here too. So you can choose different scenarios, and it would, it may result in a different outcome, or it may result in the same outcome, but just using different characters to get there. And they also had certain scenarios where if you wanted to, get certain items, you wanted to, unlock certain things, you'd have to beat a certain character under a certain set of circumstances. Okay. Like you may be fighting like Yamcha, but he's super OP and his health bar is like stupid, ridiculous, crazy. And then after you beat him, you got to fucking go through somebody else, kind of like Xenoverse in a sense, but they had stuff like that in the game. But you can now create these things for yourself. There's literally a creation suite now in this game where you can go in there and you can custom make your own scenarios. Okay. You can literally change the angle of the camera. You can even change the fucking expressions on the characters' faces. You can insert different characters in different scenarios. The dialogue, you can change the dialogue up and change out the names for the characters. It is that ridiculous. Okay. Now the voice actor of Goku, the English voice actor, said that he recorded around 60 to 80 hours, between 60 and 80 hours of fucking recorded dialogue. Okay. That's how much he fucking recorded. All right. So just think about all of the fucking scenarios that you can choose and you can pick and you can do between these things. You can even trigger certain events to take place when certain things happen. So you can trigger like at 20% health, you can trigger somebody coming in, the story being changed up, maybe somebody powering up or something like that, and just create your own shit, like however you want, all in this game. And then you can send it out, you can upload it, and then you can have other people download it and try it out and play it. So you could literally make your own movie, your own Dragon Ball game, your own Dragon Ball whatever the fuck, pick your favorite characters and just throw them in there and write some crazy stories and duke it out and have it done. I mean, that blows my fucking mind. I mean, this is something that I never would even knew I wanted, but now it even opens up more possibilities, because a lot of the YouTubers, I heard them say that, yo, this is going to take parody videos to a whole nother level, because now you can take these scenarios and you can go and edit them outside of the PlayStation or the Xbox or whatever. And then you can do more shit with it. You know, you could put custom music on there. You could do, you know what I mean? Cause I did like 4 or 5 parody videos, Dragon Ball parody videos years ago. I did one with Tony Romo. I did one called, what is it called? Yamcha something. It was basically Yamcha getting Yamcha's reality check. And I did a couple other ones too. Vegeta and Nappa go out looking for hoes. Like, I did some dope ones, and I did that all on the laptop. I had downloaded all the Dragon Ball sounds, like a Dragon Ball sound kit, and they had all the sounds you can think of, all the typical trope sounds that are associated with Dragon Ball, the Dragon Ball Z stuff, the sound effects and everything. I had them all, still got them. And I would, you know, piece together scenarios. I'd write scripts, record them, and, you know, had different scenarios, man. And it came out dope. And now with this, when I heard about this, I said, yo, this is giving me a fucking Zenkai boost to steal that word, that term. And it's making me want to do those again and play around with these scenarios now. So I can pretty much just go off the cuff and just come up with some crazy shit now. I'm thinking about, you know, hey, what if stories? What if Tien went to the hyperbolic time chamber when he turned it down in the Cell Saga? What would happen if, you know, he was able to master the fucking Neo Tri-Beam and it doesn't use his life force anymore and all that? I'm just nerding out in my Dragon Ball universe, right? In my head canon, so to speak. And I was just coming up with all kind of stories, man. And I was talking to a friend of mine, and he was like, yo, that sounds so awesome. We should write some stories and see what happens, see how people like them. I said, man, you know what? That's going to be half of what I'm going to be doing in this game. And if you guys don't know, you can actually make super characters in this game. Like, in the last game, you had these items that you could actually equip to your character, maybe give them more, key, or maybe make them charge faster, or make their ultimates and stuff more powerful, right? And but you could only have so many per character, so you'd have to kind of find that perfect balance. And there's a lot of good ones, so you're not going to be able to equip them all. So you'd have to find just the ones you like the most, and then come up with these characters. And then you could actually, when you go to versus mode or whatever, you can select them. You know, so you're like, okay, I want to do a base Vegeta, but I also have this special souped up Vegeta that I think can probably beat anybody. This base Vegeta could probably beat a Jiren or something. But you know what I mean? That's the beauty of this, and so many other things. A lot of people don't know about the point system with this game that the last one had as well. So they made this game in terms of realisticness, how Dragon Ball is supposed to be. So if you select Krillin and say Krillin's your favorite character, and you want to fight Frieza, okay, look, it's going to take everything and then some more shit on top of that, and some warm butter, all to even get Frieza down to half a bar. Okay. If you're using Krillin alone. So is it possible? Yeah, it's possible. But if Frieza's fighting even a little bit, he's going to slap you so hard with his hits. Okay. He's just going to be, and you're going to have to have a flawless fight. And you're going to have to do it for an extended period of time, when all he has to do is hit you a few times and it can be over. So that they're staying true to that. Okay. And there's a point system involved in that. So say Frieza would be like 30 points. And if you were picking Krillin, he'd be maybe, 5 points. Okay. So that's how they kind of do it. So basically, say the limit is 30. Okay. Or 50. And Frieza is 30 already by himself. So you can do up to 5 characters, 5 on 5. So you can do Frieza for 30, and you can maybe do somebody else for another 20. And then, so that's 2 characters. But on the other side, you could go Krillin, which is 5. You could go with the whole Z team, all the humans, and it would probably just equate it may not even equate all the way to 50, maybe like 45 or some shit like that, right? So that's 5-on-1 and everybody's fighting this character. Now you could probably get it done like that, but you're going to run through a lot of your characters, depending on how you do it. So that's the point system in this, and that's how it works. Now I'm sure there were special matches as well, option if you wanted to do that, but they said stay tuned because there's a lot more they're going to show us in the coming months. The game comes out in October, so just be ready. There's a lot of stuff that's going to be given to us in due time. I'm telling you that right now. And like I said, I had to talk about this fucking custom battle mode because I am so excited for that. But aside from that, even all of that, having custom matches and things like that, just the detail that they put into all of these characters, like the aura that all of these guys emit. I mean, it's true to form, it's true to the manga, it's true to the fucking shows, the movies, and a lot of the moves that they have in here now, you would assume that, especially like the Budokai 3 players like myself, that, oh, they're just gonna, recycle these moves and just make them, give them a paint job. No, a lot of these fucking moves are different. They're completely different. They're pulled from a movie, they're pulled from a manga or something like that. So they're mixing it up and the shit just looks so fucking amazing. So amazing, guys. It's going to be ridiculous. The same cutscenes that they use in this game is the same shit you're going to be using for that created when you create your own fucking scenarios and your own stories and stuff. It's going to be outrageous. All right. The costumes, they said they're going to be multiple costumes. So I can't wait to see if they add anything else costume wise in here, because we did see Golden Frieza and we saw Golden Frieza with the halo. I saw some clips of Adele with 2 different hairstyles, the long ponytail kind of things, and then she had the shortcut. So I truly believe that all of the costumes and stuff are going to definitely be here, and then some. I think they're going to even give us more than that. They're going to give us some surprises. I'm quite sure of it. I know it. They're going to give us everything we've ever wanted in this game now up to par. So now we get all the super characters. So I'll be able to play as Jiren, which is one of my favorite characters in Dragon Ball Super. And so the list goes on. Tao Pai Pai. I've been wanting to play my old Dragon Ball characters. Mercenary Tao. There's a lot of dope characters that I still, Yajirobe, like, man, Dabura, the Demon King, like another one of my favorite villains, like definitely one of my top 10 in there. Evil Boo, the Gray Boo, like I love him. So like just these characters that nobody would think, oh, you're playing him. Like my teams are going to be so obtuse. They're going to be so like from left field. You're going to be like, what are you doing? Not all of them. Okay. Because I got some guys in here powerhouse wise that, like I said, Jiren is that guy. I'm a Vegeta fan, so he's going to be doing his thing. Definitely. I love Super Vegeta, of all the Vegeta. So I'm definitely going to make a Vegeta character. My Super Vegeta will probably beat like Super Saiyan God, base, some of these base characters and stuff like that. That's the goal here. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just so excited because you're going to be able to play out all these stories, all these scenarios, and the possibilities are endless is what I'm saying. The possibilities are fucking endless, my guy. Okay. I cannot wait. This is just, all I think about is this game now. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? And there's different, I was looking to get the collector's edition. It was $230. Now here's why I'm not doing that. I wanted to see what was coming with it. I'm always looking, okay, what's the statue? What's the set piece going to be? And it's awesome. Don't get me wrong, but I have so much Dragon Ball shit right now. Like I'm looking at all these shits and they're not even all pulled out yet. But I have so much Dragon Ball shit, man. It's ridiculous. So I don't know. I don't need that. Also, if you want the game, if you get the Ultimate Edition, I think it is, you can play the game 3 days early. And I'm doing that. There's no way I'm sitting on my hands for 3 fucking days while other people get to play this and I'm not. You're crazy. Now, I will eventually buy this physical for the PS5. Okay. But right now I am definitely getting it. It's like $100. You got to pay $100, but it also comes with 3 seasons. Okay. 3 DLCs, 3 season DLCs. So you're going to get a lot of shit with this. And you get like 5 or 6 characters unlocked as soon as the game starts. Gogeta, you get some of those characters. So you get some stuff, and I'm definitely supporting this game. I'm supporting every DLC, all of it. So I'll take my money, okay, and let me play it 3 days early, and let's get started. So all of that. And yeah, man, it's beautiful. I even saw some of the stuff in some of these fights that they added, which is some of the dialogue, man, is crazy. Some new shit that I've never heard before. Like this game, man, it's gonna be fan service times 10. And I'm so happy for all the younger Dragon Ball fans that didn't really get a chance to enjoy the other game, because the other shit came out like 17 years ago. The last game before this, part 3, was 17 years ago. All right. So yeah, a long time ago, man. So yeah, it's definitely, and the PC players are going to have a fucking field day with the mods. I already know that. But as far as this game's concerned, it's a banger. Go check out some gameplay if you haven't seen it. The destructible environments are so ridiculous. Everything's destructible. You can even tear up buildings and things like that. If you get too close, if you're standing too close to it and you start to power up, depending on who you are, what character you are, you can literally go into charging yourself and you will destroy shit around you. Okay. By the power you are fucking revving up. Everything is just attention to detail. And there's a lot of things I know they haven't shown us, different levels, different stages, different scenarios and stuff like that. And then, like I said, all those things can be incorporated into your own custom battles and stuff like that. So whatever story you can think of, you can pretty much use any character, and even characters who can't fight, you can insert them in and do certain things too, because they were showing us one of these characters. I think it was Bulma, and she was in there. And I'm like, yo, so you can do that as well. So who knows? And then the DLC characters and stuff like that. Once they add those characters, the DLC characters and stuff, I mean, you can do more things. I mean, guys, with about 200 characters, I mean, you'll be able to tell whatever Dragon Ball story you fucking want. And I can't wait for it. I'm here for it all. So I don't know what else I'm leaving out here. I don't. I think I've pretty much talked about every fucking thing here. Okay. Everything here, I think I've covered it all. I don't know what else I'm leaving out. I don't think I am. But I'm just so hyped for it, guys. I had to talk about it. And yeah, this took up most of the show. And I don't give a damn, because this is very important to your boy. So yeah, I'm sure all of my Dragon Ball fans that started listening to the podcast when I first started it, when it was Studio MacGyver's Dragon Ball and Video Game Podcast, they know what the fuck I'm talking about. So, and I'm sure they're just as hype for this game as I am. Man. Anyway, I want to thank everybody for coming out, downloading, streaming, and checking out the show, guys. Check me out on my social handles, okay? On TikTok at Random Gameplay Pimpin, on YouTube at Random Gameplay Pimpin as well. Stay tuned, definitely, and check me out also on X or Twitter at Studio MacGyver, and also be looking out for Dragon Ball Drip, okay, on YouTube and TikTok as well, because I am going to be, when this game comes out, I'm going to have lots and lots of stuff in the future going up there. So this has definitely breathed new life into those channels, okay, and I'm gonna have a blast, making content for you guys for that. And if you guys are planning on buying the game and you guys want to play and maybe get some matches in, and maybe, check out the Discord or something like that, go check out my Random Gameplay Pimpin YouTube channel. The Discord is there, and most of my videos now, the newer ones, the podcasts that I upload there, and join the Discord, and we can, get into something, man. I want to get into some communities. I want to talk to some other players and, pick each other's brains, talk about favorite characters, whatever, favorite villains and whatever. Just Dragon Ball. Let's nerd the fuck out. Let's do that. I'm looking forward to that, man. Love you guys so much. Thank you guys for everything, supporting the channel, supporting the podcast, all of it. And I'll see you guys next week. Okay. We do this every Monday, same bat time, same bat channel. Now, with that being said, I am going to get out of here now. I'm feeling the sickness is starting to rise a little bit. I'm getting sleepy. So I'm going to edit this and then put it out for you guys. But yeah, I will see you guys next week. This is your boy, Studio MacGyver, and you have been listening to Random Gameplay Pimpin'. See you next time.